Hey guys, this is Teddy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the new home construction process and more specifically, some tips and tricks that you can use to get a good deal and stack the cards in your favor, so to speak. First piece of advice is you want to choose a good builder, and when you're looking at builders, you want to look at a builder just like you would any other business. How long have they been in business? Did they survive 2008? What do their social media profiles look like? Obviously, every single builder is going to have some bad reviews, but is it overwhelmingly bad? Do they not have a social media presence at all? My advice with builders is there's almost like a sweet spot. If you choose a super discount builder that's going to build you a really cheap house, there's going to be a lot more risk. And if you choose a really big builder like D.R. Horton, they're kind of bloated and they don't pay attention to their customers as much. But if you choose what I call a regional builder, usually you get that special blend of somebody who has great resources to provide a really good product, and they're not so big that they don't pay attention to their customer. Now, this is just my experience, and your experience in your individual area may be different. Many people worry about the resale value of new home construction. Well, unless you went with a really bad builder who did incredibly shady things, the build that you have or the piece of real estate that you have is more than likely going to appreciate with time. Now, people are always looking for ways to get rich, and they think that their property is going to appreciate great amounts, but I always tell people that if you hold a piece of real estate for 20 years, it's got to appreciate. If you hold it for long enough and if you look at it as a true investment and not some type of cash cow, it's going to eventually appreciate with time. Besides choosing a good builder, what else can you do to make sure that the home is going to be in good working condition? Make sure that you hire a home inspector that is outside or third party to the builder, and any good builder is going to allow you to do this. Also, I would make sure that you look at the warranty and make sure that there's a reputable warranty company backing the home that you are buying. Many people also wonder, should I bring a real estate agent with me on site when I'm about to buy one of these homes? I would say more than likely, yes, it wouldn't hurt. If you have a real estate agent that you trust and you want to come on board and want to represent you, it couldn't be a bad idea, so to speak. And it will say a lot about the builder if they're willing to pay an outside rep to represent you. And a lot of times I've seen very sketchy builders who will try to cut out the real estate agent. I would say that's a sure sign of a bad builder. Okay, so what can you do to negotiate the best deal possible? Now, obviously you want to look at it from a situation of how much bargaining or negotiating power do you have when you actually start looking at these homes. Are there people literally on a waiting list to buy? Is it kind of in the middle where there's a steady demand, or do you go there and it's a ghost town? Now, obviously, if there's more demand, the builder is going to be less likely to negotiate with you, but as always in any real estate transaction, there's going to be ways that you can negotiate. There are some builders who are going to allow you to negotiate on price, but the vast majority of builders that I've seen want you to negotiate outside of the price. Now, what do I mean by that? They will be way more likely to negotiate with you when it comes to putting a upgraded fridge in, maybe some exotic granite, maybe you want a fence, or maybe you ask to pay the closing costs. They're going to be way more likely to negotiate with things off the price than they are going to negotiate with coming down on the price. Now, many people also wonder, what is the actual purchasing process? Well, the majority of times it's not going to be much different from a regular pre-existing house. You're going to put in an offer. The builder is more than likely going to have a contract or a specialized contract that you sign. Make sure that you actually look at the contract. If there are really sketchy things in the contract, that may be a sign of something to watch out for, but more than likely the builder sees it as a two-way street, so to speak. There are certain things that the builder has to do, and there are certain things that the consumer or the purchaser has to do. And if you see a contract that just kind of seems very one-sided, you may want to seek some outside help or have people who are real estate attorneys or maybe another realtor take a look at it. During the building process, What I typically see is the first thing that goes wrong is that people are not conscious of the closing date in terms of where they're living now. So if you are in a current lease and you are moving into new construction, you really want to pay attention to that closing date and make sure that you have a backup plan in case that closing date gets pushed back and you have another place to live. Maybe you can live with a friend. I know that's not optimal, but just realize that there is a chance that the closing date could be pushed back, so just be conscious of that. But anyway, those are my tips. If you guys like this video, make sure to check out the rest of my channel. Make sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and as always, thank you for watching.